Just be the mother, focusing on the heart for a few seconds. Om Tatsaviturvaram Rupam Jyoti Parasya Dhimahi Yanna Satyena Deepayet. Om Tatsaviturvaram Rupam Jyoti Parasya Dhimahi Yanna Satyena Deepayet. Om Tatsaviturvaram Rupam Jyoti Parasya Dhimahi Yanna Satyena Deepayet. Sri Aurobindo translates this Gayatri mantra. He says, let us meditate on the most auspicious, best form of Savitri, on the light of the Supreme, which shall illumine us with the truth. Let us meditate on the most auspicious, best form of Savitri, on the light of the Supreme, which shall illumine us with the truth. And MP Panditji says, the original Gayatri mantra was intended for illumining the intellect, while Sri Aurobindo's modification of the Gayatri mantra is intended for supramentalization of the entire being. Sri Aurobindo's Gayatri mantra is intended for the supramentalization of the entire being, the body included, not only the mind, your emotions, vital, and the body. So we are going to talk on how to make our body conscious, how to aspire for that consciousness in the body. We all know that Sri Aurobindo's yoga is different from all other yogas because the focus is transformation of the physical, transformation of the earth consciousness. So how can we receive this light? It's not like any other yogas to run away from life, but in life, in our day-to-day life, in the smallest of the things, in whatever work we do, how do we call that light to fill the body? Mother says, body, when it works, it's like it's the prayer to the divine. Work for the body is the body praying to the divine. So the ideal is a divine life in a divine body is the formula of the ideal that we envisage. Mother has said, the body must not rule, it must obey. She says body is a very docile instrument. It is generally very obedient by nature. It is very obedient. But it comes under the influence of the mind and the passions and the excesses of the vital. So that destroys the natural balance of the body, and that creates fatigue, exhaustion, and disease. It must be freed from this tyranny, and this can be done only through a constant union with the psychic center of the being. The body's natural way is to receive the light, be in harmony. Mother says if there's any malfunction, any illness, it's because of the mixture, because the organs are not in balance, they are not in harmony with each other. Each of it is getting pulled by different directions, by the mind, the emotions. But the body is a docile instrument. We should use this quality of the body and make it allow it to just receive from the psychic center, from the center of the being. The body has a wonderful capacity of adaptation and endurance. She says it has to be free from the tyranny. So, what all we are subjecting the body to? Simple thing, when we are eating something which is a favorite food, the body is actually telling you, okay, stop at 2 samosas. But the mind is saying it is vital, is getting excited. It is saying, no, 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 I feel like having more. And the consequence, the body has to suffer. Mother gives a very beautiful story, rather a real incident. So there was this person who was taming a monkey. And he was in a gathering. And it was kind of a party where there was some wine and drinks. And just for fun, he gave a little bit of some wine to the monkey. And the monkey, it couldn't take it. It was running helter-skelter. It was feeling very disoriented, very dizzy. And it really felt something is terribly wrong. In the course of time, it recovered. And on another occasion, a similar setting, similar gathering. And the person tries to do this trick again, but this monkey flees the whole scene. So it knows the physical was affected. It doesn't want to get into the trauma anymore. Mother has said so much in the sense of the purity, the spontaneity in that animal consciousness. But she says humans are perverted by their minds, by influences, by peer pressure, and so many things. But just leave it to the body. It will know what to do, what is right. It will choose the right foods. Mother says, body left to itself is marvelously self-conscious. It knows spontaneously and unfailingly what is good for its health and strength. Somewhere she says, you shouldn't be so fixated about food. Make sure there are the right chemical substances which nourishes the body. And also there's another extreme. All of us, now we are exposed to so many things. So we would say, oh, too much of this is bad, too much of maida is bad, too much of packaged food is bad. Even that, to an extent, creates a agitation in the mind, fear in the mind. If you are doubting everything, but yes, to follow these things up to a certain point is good. But she also says that, say in a circumstance, you're given something that's the only thing available and it is not as per your taste, or it's something you generally don't eat. But if you consider that as a prasad and just don't bring in your desires, your likes, cravings and everything, then that will really be like a prasad to you. There's an incident in the ashram where Jumurdi, she's one of the sadhaks who's with us even now, who had the darshan of Aurobindo. And one occasion, and she and her friends were with the mother, And mother used to play games with them, flower games. She used to teach them significances of flowers through the games on one such occasion. Mother gave everybody a sweet because ashram used to get a lot of sweets. Many people would offer, and there'll always be quite a lot with mother. So she gave Jumurdi one sweet. But Jumurdi could see it had little fungus, some green markings. And my mother approached her and gave it to her. Mother could notice that she had these thoughts in the mind immediately. How am I to eat this? Then mother herself said, eat it. It is only penicillin. It will not do any harm. And the divine mother is giving you something. There's no questions asked. Even take it in our normal day-to-day way of living. If we just consider whatever circumstance, whatever we had to face, the challenges, ups and downs, it is for the nourishment of the soul, for a particular progress. It is another step closer to the divine. It's for more refinement in our nature. If you can think like that, is life as a prasad, then there's no suffering that way. Then she says, it's not out of contempt for the body, not to detach ourselves from it, but because of the need for control and mastery. Again, we are not leaving this body, we are carrying this body with us in our yoga, with us in our sadhana. Shouldn't detach yourself or feel, oh, this body is, because of the body, I'm not able to progress. But we have to use this body, use this instrument, use this adhara, and on it achieve control and mastery. Now we know, we see all around us that need to be fit, need to eat the right thing, need to exercise. If we walk outside our house, you'll see 2 or 3 gyms in one street. So somewhere, because of the descent of the mother, there is this openness in the physical. Not everybody will claim that, yes, I'm a child of the mother, but we are, one way or another, her children. It's nothing, it is only her, and everything is coming out of her. So this physical is already getting receptive, getting molded, and we all know how much emphasis is given in our ashram to the physical. All the little kids in our ashram, what kind of strenuous fitness routines they follow. But mother says in one occasion, there were these Russian gymnasts who came here. They had a great mastery over their body. And this is a very good step for the transformation of the body. And she says, and these people who I could say are materialists by profession, used no spiritual method in their education. It was solely by material means and an enlightened use of human will that they had achieved this result. So when this group came, Russian gymnasts, mother was really, really happy to see what a sculpted body, what mastery over the body. And they are purely materialists, she says. Their only thing is how to refine the body, how to make it perfect. Only with that sheer human will they have achieved the result. And she says, if they could have just added that spiritual knowledge and the power, how much more they could have achieved. What a miraculous result they would have obtained. Even when we are doing whatever little we are doing in terms of maintaining the body, little bit of physical activity, whatever we are doing, If we can put that consciousness in the body, Mother says as simple as many of you would have lived in ashram guest houses, stayed in ashram guest houses. Most of the guest houses, when near the stairway, there's a beautiful quote of the mother which says, climbing the stairs, how to climb consciously, step by step, how to observe the body, how to see how harmoniously the body is moving. Just not doing it, okay, I have to reach this floor, but really observing, watching the body slowly, gradually, taking in every step mother's name and going like that. And even we have now in our circle, in Sri Aurobindonian community, so many people who teach yogasana in our society itself. We have Matri Niketan, Uditam program. So I encourage all of you to, go to their website and see and learn the basic things. I was part of their program, online program, like maybe 8-9 months back. There the instructor, he would say, um, first thing when you do after getting up, do some basic simple stretches. And he's saying this is waking up the consciousness in the body. It's anyway going through many planes, lot of subconscious regions it has touched. But when the next minute it wakes up, yes, we are invoking mother's blessings and say, Ma, you carry this day, you hold me, let everything I do be an offering to you, and involve the body also. And the next, after mentally and emotionally connecting with her, involve the body in the prayer. Do some simple stretches. It's very simple, hardly 30 minutes, 30 seconds to 1 minute. It is like body is first thing when the sun breaks and the sunlight is entering, just let the spiritual sun enter the body. And I know one person in Bombay, Anahita, many of her videos are there on YouTube, and she gives very beautiful talks. And she's a yoga instructor, and she would say they use Savitri to do yoga. When you breathe in, half a line of Savitri, breathe out the other half. All can be done if the God touch is there. Something like that. Awakening the body, even when you're doing, say, some simple asana or something. Say you're pointing your hand, raising it high up, and you're invoking the mother. Let my aspiration reach you. Let these limbs receive you. If asana is difficult, Mother, I am not doing. You are doing. You do it for me. Then there you are saying, no, I'm not the doer. It is always the Divine Mother who's doing. You are surrendering. You are putting the ego to one corner. You don't come in. It's not your effort, it's the mother's effort which is making you do. So we can just, incorporate small things. Even mother says the physical expresses beauty, simple things. You're lifting a bottle, drinking from it, be conscious. Like how you keep the bottle, how your hand is moving. Don't do it clumsily. Simple things. We can be conscious. We can invoke her name, invoke her presence. Even the Surya Namaskar, the 12 rounds many people do. Each round they'll invoke a name of the sun. Mitra, Ravi, Savitri, and so many other names. They invoke that your light, I'm doing it for you, I'm offering it to you, like that. So make this matter pliable, moldable, something giving itself to the soul, to the psychic call, to the Divine Mother. So I'll read some lines of Savitri. So beautifully, Sri Aurobindo describes the body of the mother, the body of Savitri. So he says, this wonder of the divine artists make, the divine artist, he's made the mother. This wonder of the divine artists make, carved like a nectar cup for thirsty gods. This breathing scripture of the eternal's joy. This breathing scripture, mother's body is a breathing scripture, sorry, of the eternal's joy. This net of sweetness, woven of aureate fire, transformed the delicate image face, became a deeper nature, self-revealing sign. So what the purest form of nature, the deepest nature, which is inside all of us, the body is reflecting, is revealing that. A gold leaf palimpsest of sacred birds, a grave world symbol chiseled out of life. Her brow, a copy of clear, unstained heavens. Every aspect he's describing. Her eyebrows, a copy of unstained heavens. Clear, unstained, pure, immaculate heavens was meditation's pedestal and defense. The very room and smile of musing space, its brooding line, infinity's symbol curve. This is all description of the eyebrow. The brooding line, that curved line is infinity's symbol curve. That infinity is there. And Sri Aurobindo can describe like this. Amid her tresses, cloudy multitude, her long eyes shadowed as by wings of night, under that moon gold forehead's dreaming breath, were seas of love and thought that held the world. So the description of the eyes. So there were seas of love and thought that held the world, mother's gaze holding the world. Marveling at life and earth, they saw truths far. A deathless meaning filled her mortal limbs. A deathless meaning filled her mortal limbs, as in a golden vase's poignant line, they seem to carry the rhythmic sob of bliss, of earth's mute adoration towards heaven, released in beauty's cry of living form towards the perfection of eternal things. Transparent, grown, the ephemeral living dress bared the expressive deity to his view. Now Ashwapati is seeing his daughter. He had not seen her like this, like the embodiment of the Divine Mother. First time that revelation has come to him. Transparent, grown, the ephemeral living dress bared the expressive deity to his view. And later Ashwapati again describes star-lustrous eyes awake in sweet large night, and limbs like fine-linked poems made of gold. So this is the goal, to make the body divine. Let every part of the body express the divinity. Mother has said in doing pranayam, when you take that in-breath and when you hold that breath for a few counts, if you have any trouble in the body, anything, any pain, uneasiness, while holding, concentrate on that part of your body. So that force you are infusing into the body. So she says, infuse consciousness into the cells of the body. If you're feeling ill, she'll say, push peace into the cells of the body. We all have heard, others told us so beautifully, should call peace like you're calling a friend. Just call simply. It's there. It is all there, just waiting to come. You just need to call. Peace, peace, peace. Calm, calm, calm. So if we find any uneasiness in our body, even if our emotions are unruly or if you're facing some, not so great situation, just few seconds of quietening and calling that peace, you really, really feel the mother's presence with you. And she says, when we are taking up like a discipline for mastery and control of the body, it should be followed rigorously, sincerely, deliberately. For it enables life on earth to attain its goal more rapidly and prepares it to receive the new life. The discipline To discipline oneself is to hasten the arrival of the new life and the contact with the supramental reality. How profound this is. We just think it's all a part of our daily routine. But through this, how much Mother is working on us. So we are preparing ourselves for this new life. That's why the focus so much on the physical. So when the supramental descent came down, so Mother says, I was there at the door and she struck upon the golden door and the light came flooding in. And when after this experience, Mother opens her eyes and sees, she thought all the disciples, sadhaks gathered there, they would have fallen flat or the force would be too heavy for them. They wouldn't be able to take it, something to that extent. But she was surprised to see that nobody felt anything. They were just doing, packing up, ready to go to the dining room, holding their mats. So, because that inconscience in all of us is so strong, that's why how much we need to call, how much we need to work, how much we have to carry the body in this journey. Then how do we? Mother's given us a lot of, the ways to look after the body. All of you must have read or heard, and in terms of food, how do we offer our food? So she says, care should be taken of the body, certainly. Care that is needed for its good condition, rest, sleep, proper food, sufficient exercise. What is not good is too much preoccupation with it. Anxiety, despondency in illness, etc. Don't be too preoccupied with all this illness, anxiety. For these things only favor the prolongation of ill health or weakness. For such things, these things only favor the prolongation of ill health or weakness. Have a beautiful rhythm, beautiful discipline. Follow as much as possible what Mother has told us, her guidance. She says it's always the right inner poise, quietude, inward and outward, faith, the opening of the body consciousness to the Mother and her force that are the true means of recovery. Other things can only be minor aids and devices. So when it comes to food, she says from the childhood, this training should be started. He should be helped to develop a taste for food that is simple and healthy, substantial and appetizing, but free from any useless complication. In his daily food, all that merely stuffs and causes heaviness should be avoided, and above all, he must be taught to eat according to his hunger, neither more nor less, and not to make his meals an occasion to satisfy his greed or gluttony. From, from one's very childhood, one should know that one eats in order to give strength and health to the body and not to enjoy the pleasures of the palate. Mother beautifully says, It's a very common practice when you're raising a child. You want him to obey something, or say he's eating a meal and you say you have to finish this. After you finish, we'll have chocolate or dessert. Okay, now eat this fast. It's good for you. She's saying you shouldn't tempt the children with food. So important. You shouldn't tempt them. Don't worry, do this work. I will give you a dessert. This is most harmful. In this way, you create this little consciousness that in his little consciousness, the impression that food is given to him chiefly to satisfy his greed and not because it is indispensable for the proper functioning of his body. You are giving him a lesson or a sign saying that, okay, food is just to satisfy his cravings and greed. He should know from the tender age that it is just something to important to nourish the body. Then she talks about sleep, how to be conscious in our sleep, and she says how we have to lay like a rag on the on our bed and slowly, release the tensions, go scan the whole body part to part by part, and release all the tensions of the day, loosen it up, just offer the body to her. And then she says also good to read something, of some very high consciousness, or repeat a mantra and gradually enter into sleep and call her mother. I'm may I sleep on your lap. I'm going to be traveling many worlds. Hope, please be with me, carry me. Let your protection and love continuously be with me, even in sleep. So mother says, even sadhana should go on in your sleep to that extent. And few things again, what mother says about exercises. Each one will choose one's best suited for his body, if possible. Take guidance from an expert on the subject who knows how to combine and grade the exercises to obtain a maximum effect. So, because something is popular and all of us should jump into it, that is not required. Everybody's body is made differently. So, we have to choose what is best for us. So, their guidance and help is available. So, mother says, try and do with the proper guidance. And as simple as she says, walk in the sun. And hours moving about in the sun does more to cure weaknesses or even anemia than a whole set of tonics. Like connect with the sun, connect with nature, see how everything vibrantly grows with that sunlight. And for us, through the sun, we can connect to that Gayatri mantra which we chanted in the beginning, to that through that Savitri, to the auspicious form of the truth. Connect to that and meditate, even like dynamic meditation, walking, talking, eating, just connecting with that inner sun. And we all know how mother, she used to play tennis with the sadhaks. And I think even when she in her 80s, and her strokes were so beautiful, so sharp. And she used to say, mother has said, with each stroke, I remove their mental and vital difficulties of ego and desire. Thus, you see, even in tennis, I am helping each one to solve their difficulties and to grow towards progress and perfection. On one occasion, one of the sadhaks, he missed some of the tennis sessions, and mother called him, like, why are you missing? Don't you know how much I'm pouring in you with each stroke? Like this, what exactly she said. All the mental and vital difficulties of ego and desire she's removing. See, so joyfully, playfully in sports, the divine is doing so much. She says, keep alive within you the ideal of beauty that is to be realized. Sooner or later, you're sure to reach the goal you have set yourself. He says, if you're doing long jump, for example, it should not be merely for the pleasure of doing it. It is with the idea of making your body more perfect in its functioning, an instrument more fit to receive the divine forces. There was a case in the ashram sports ground. So this person, I think he is the relative of Nirodha. So he was doing this javelin throw, and mother was also seated there, observing her children. And while he was just about to throw the javelin, he looks at the mother and really deeply asking and calling for her force, and he was very receptive. And while he did that, I think his record is not broken yet, and the javelin goes a very, very long distance. But unfortunately, after this episode, he, his mental balance got disrupted. That's because his body was not so ready. He was asking for the force. Mother gave the force, but the body is not receptive. So it's important to make the body conscious more receptive. Mother says, sports is simply a means or pretext for infusing consciousness into matter, perhaps even a different consciousness, or perhaps simply to help clarify a certain number of cells, thus allowing the consciousness to work. Sports is just an excuse. How can you make body plastic? That is, yes, you have to move the body here and there so you can allow the matter to be not so rigid, but just open to the higher forces. So when it comes to illness, what mother says, so first of all, you must not want it, and nothing in the body must want it. She says illness is the falsehood of the body. Body is made of pure substance. We are all portions, part and parcel of the mother's consciousness. And it has no, she says, my child can't afford to be ill. He has to do my work. And what work? Whatever work externally we are calling ourselves that we are doing, but all our work is ultimately to transform nature, transform matter, transform earth consciousness. You must have a strong will and not to be ill. This is the first condition. The second condition is to call the light a light of equilibrium, a light of peace, quietude, and balance, and to push it into the cells of the body, enjoining them not to be afraid, because that again is another condition, not to be afraid. Push this light, peace, quietude, balance in the cells of the body. The road to be covered between the usual state of the body, the almost total inconscience to which we are accustomed because we are like that, and the perfect awakening of the consciousness, the response of all the cells, all the organs, all the functionings. Between the two, there seem to be centuries of labor. However, if one has learned to open, to aspire, give oneself up, and if one can make use of these same movements in the body, teach the cells to do the same thing. Open, aspire, give oneself up, teach the cells of the body also to do the same thing. We all can, close our eyes, connect to the body, feel all the sensations in the body as much as you can, and then actually talk to the cells. Don't hold on to any fear. Don't hold on to any samskaras. Hold on tightly to the divine. Offer yourselves. We all know how much Mother has done sadhana in her body for all of us. Because Mother has done it, it is such a smooth, beautiful walk and journey for us. Because she has done it for us, and cell after cell, organ after organ, she's transformed it. On 17th November 1973, it is Mother walking out the of the current body and moving into an already transformed body, which is in a different plane. And Earth is still not ready to accept that because of the lack of receptivity. We all know so many experiences of sadhaks on 17 November 1973, and Mother says, I am here, I am not gone anywhere, I've moved into my transformed body. She's been working this old body which she had, which belonged to the old consciousness. If cell by cell by cell, she has transformed it. That's why it is very easy for all of us in her light. You can just, all of you must have experienced also. If we have an illness or something just slowly coming, as simple as cold, cough, really when she says push the peace into the cells, if you can concentrate on that part of the body and just do it like few minutes, you will feel such a relief, because of Mother working so much on the body, our body is also able to work on it, because her help, her grace is continuously there. And that's what she says, this journey between this inconscience and the transformed body, it's a labor of centuries, and how much the Mother in her form of an avatar now and all the other vibhutis, all the time she's working on this for that perfect transformation. That this earth and heaven are no longer separate. They are one. There's no something low, something high. It is the heaven, the light, the divine, the entire divine as a whole. Earth becoming the divine, life divine. Why do we say that? Life becoming totally divine. And Mother also used to give such beautiful messages on the sports day. And again, these sports are not done to break records, for the sake of competition. And she says, no, all these sports and exercises, it's just one of the methods for transforming matter. It's an excuse. So I'll read 2-3 of those messages. It might be better to remind you that we are here for a special work, a work which is done nowhere else. We want to come in contact with the supreme consciousness, the universal consciousness. We want to bring it down in ourselves and to manifest it. But for that, we must have a very solid base. Our base is our physical being, our body. Therefore, we have to build up a body solid, healthy, enduring, skillful, agile, and strong, ready for everything. There is no better way to prepare the body than physical exercise. Sports, athletics, gymnastics, and all games are the best means to develop and strengthen the body. I must tell you once more that for us, spiritual life does not mean contempt for matter, but its divinization. Spiritual life is divinization of matter. We do not want to reject the body, but to transform it. For this, physical education is one of the means most directly effective. Since the beginning of this year, a new consciousness is at work upon earth to prepare the men for a new creation. To prepare men for a new creation, the supermen. So this message she's giving in 1969, and January 1st, 1969, Mother has elaborated on this, that a new consciousness has stepped into the earth, that is the Superman consciousness. So the consciousness which is between the current state and the supramental being that has descended in the earth. So how we celebrate and talk, much big about 1956, 29th February. There's one more milestone movement, which is the Superman consciousness descent in 1969. For this creation to be possible, the substance that constitutes man's body must undergo a big change. It must become more receptive to the consciousness and more plastic under its working. He's talking about the substance, the material which is making this body, that should go through a change. That should be receptive to consciousness. Maybe the next 2-3 minutes, we'll just do a small meditation-like thing. So Mother says how to make this body receptive, how to increase the receptivity. She says, first, to remain as quiet as possible. You may notice that in the different parts of your being, when something comes, then you do not receive it. This produces a shrinking. There is something which hardens in the vital, the mind or the body. There is a stiffening, and this hurts. One feels a mental, vital or physical pain. So when the force and light is coming, not all the members in the body and the parts of the being are receptive. Because of that, it creates a resistance and creates an uneasiness. We should make those members also receptive. So the first thing is to put one's will and relax this shrinking as one does a twitching nerve or a cramped muscle. You must learn how to relax, be able to relieve the tension in whatever part of the being it may be. Then widen themselves, then widen, identifying yourself more and more to something vast. Then calling the peace and tranquility. First she says, remain as quiet as possible. And you find some shrinking resistances, put the will, talk to the cells, talk to the body. Tell it to open, tell it to receive, tell it to aspire. Widen yourself and call in peace and tranquility. Just for 2 minutes, we'll remain quiet and let's do this. Try to be really quiet. When thoughts come, don't go with the thoughts, but come back to the body, come back to the silence. And if there's any kind of stiffness anywhere in the body, just focus there and call the mother there. Widen yourself, call the peace there. We do this for 2 minutes and then we can close.